if you want to take full advantage of your new iPhone, treat your phone just like a professional camera. These are my settings when I film using my iPhone 17 Pro Max. What's up guys, Dan Frullani here, welcome back to a new video. Another video about my new device. Yes, who would have said that? I'm enjoying filming with my new iPhone 17 Pro Max so much. That's incredible. So in this video I will share with you guys my settings when I film using my iPhone. And the first thing I have to say that if you don't know any better, when you want to film, you just open the default camera app by Apple and film in 4K 24 frames per second, super slow motion 120 frames per second, 4K, Apple log, and ProRes HDR. Yeah, awesome, really good options, but I don't use that. I mean, if I want to film something really fast, I don't want to be fancy, and yes, that's good enough, and that's something that Apple doesn't tell us. We have to find out by ourselves, because we're supposed to know already that to have full control over the cameras of the iPhone, in this case iPhone 17 Pro Max, we have to download and install a third-party app. They talked so much about the Apple Log 2 and the ProRes RAW, and then in the default app by Apple, you can't have that. It's not even funny. So there are a few options, a couple of third-party camera apps. One is Final Cut Camera, and the other, the one I use, Blackmagic Camera. And I prefer it to Final Cut Camera because it gives us more options. So from the default camera app, we don't have full control over everything. So if you want to take full advantage of your new iPhone and take full control, treating your phone just like a professional camera, download Blackmagic Camera. It's for free. So what are my settings when I film with it? I'm gonna show you real quick. Let me wear my glasses because I'm blind almost. We open it here. We go to the settings. First thing, we have record codec. We can choose where to film in RAW, Apple ProRes 422, etc. Here I set it to Apple ProRes, but feel free to select HEVC H265 here. You get good quality anyway if you're planning on making a long video, because it saves a lot of space, but I'm not gonna make very long videos like talking 2 hours or something, so for me Apple ProRes 422 will do. Then we go back. Here we choose a resolution, and we can choose 4K, HD, 720, Open Gate. Open Gate will take advantage of the entire sensor, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm showing you in this video my regular settings. So 4K here. Then color space. Here we go. We can choose Rec 709, Rec 2020 HDR, P3D 65, Apple Log HDR, and Apple Log 2. That's what I selected. The quality is not much better than Apple Log. I don't believe we get a wider dynamic range, but a little bit more flexibility with the colors. So Apple Log 2. Then we go to camera. Here we have enable vertical video. I leave it disabled because I'm not gonna shoot vertical right now. And keep in mind, if you enable it and you use your camera handheld, when you tilt it too much, the video will switch to vertical all of a sudden. So if you shoot handheld and you're planning on moving it a lot, moving the camera, the iPhone a lot, just disable it. Then here it's already selected, lock white balance on record. Because I usually leave my white balance on auto because it does a pretty good job. And the good thing is that when I press the rec button, it stays like that. It won't change. That's a good thing. Audio. Here we can choose the microphone, like an external microphone. Another thing that we can't do with the default app, at least not that I know of. But here we can use an external microphone. Right now I don't have it connected, but I'm gonna show you in one of my next videos. Then media, and here the only thing I selected is where the videos, the recordings go, end up at the end. the recording. They stay in the app, separated from the camera roll. Zip clips too, you see, in-app only. We go to camera. Here we are. And we can choose, first of all, the lens. Here. We can go wide. Here, my finger. We can even use the front camera. Then we have 48 millimeters, 100 millimeters, 200 millimeters, too close. So I usually set it here, 24 millimeters, which gives us the best quality, by the way. Then frame rate, here. We can shoot 24 frames per second, 24, 30, 50, and so on. But since I can, I set it directly to 23.98. Therefore, shutter speed here, I usually set it at 1/50th of a second, because on my cameras I don't have 1/48th of a second, but here I do have it. So 1/48th of a second to get the most natural motion blur. Aperture here it says 1.8, f1.8, and that's something we can't change. Maybe the only one thing, the ISO here, we can put it lower, higher, but since I'm filming in Apple Log 2, it performs better at ISOs higher than 400. So I set it to 640, just like my Sony when I film in Log. White balance, I leave it to automatic, but then I lock it. I mean, we already locked it so that when we start filming, it will be locked. It will not change during the shot. We also have stabilization, and we have different levels of stabilization. If I use it on a tripod, I set it to off here. But if I'm using the camera handheld, I set it to at least standard. And it does a pretty good job. Not bad at all. Well, last thing, here you can see the footage, the screen. You see what you're filming in log. So everything is flat, without saturation, without contrast, with nothing. And if you're not comfortable with that, you can set here LUTs. And you can choose one so that the image won't look so flat. And it will not be burned in the footage. Let me see if I lower the ISO just to show you with the LUT when you expose it correctly, because I'm not gonna film this. This was just to show you my settings. Okay, so when you put a LUT, it looks more like this. I think that's it. So these are my settings when I film using my iPhone 17 Pro Max with the Blackmagic camera app. Well, as I said, I enjoy filming with my new iPhone so much, and mostly because when I use it with this app, I feel like holding a tiny, real, legit camera. Even though there's still things that need to be improved to make this smartphone 100% a legit cinema camera. But I think it won't take long to have something incredibly close to a real camera within the next couple of years. Alright, I think I don't have anything else to say. And I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, smash the like button, subscribe if you ain't already, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Oh yeah!